It's time to get my hands dirty. It's time for me to get really deep into the weeds of this thing. Before I had my training wheels on, but today, they're coming off. I'm getting knuckle deep into the next level of cooking. Literally. Because today I'm gonna be butchering my own chicken. I've been told this is the best thing you can do in your kitchen for many reasons. First of all, it's supposed to be cheaper. And secondly, you can get a bunch of ingredients for things like a stock, which I don't know how to make, but I'll have the ingredients. There's plenty of dishes out there that call for chicken stock, and since I'm a purist and I like to make things from scratch, this seems like the obvious next step. Besides, think about how banging this Sunday routine's gonna be once I'm a lot more skilled. To prepare myself for the week, I can butcher my own chicken, make my own stock, make my own bread. Hell, I can even make my own butter from scratch. I'm stoked. Today's the first day of the rest of my life. Let's get motherfucking started.
So I'm not going into this completely blind like I did with the pasta sauce. I did look up how to do this, and I may or may not have the video pulled up out of frame. I feel super weird doing this since I think I've only seen like whole chicken maybe around 4 times in my life. I don't know, I'm kind of struggling to figure out what side is up, which side is down. Please don't judge me. Now that I've oriented myself, first thing I want to do is get the wings, my favorite part. With my very limited knowledge, I was told by the video to make a cut right here into the arm and kind of just like find the joints and cut around them. It did take me a minute, but we figured it out. My knife is not the sharpest or the best tool for this job, so sometimes it's a struggle. But cool. Check it out. Look, not that bad. I got my wangs. Now that these are separated, I guess it's time to move on to the legs, the drumsticks, whatever those are called. Okay, so here apparently this is a bit of a gruesome one. Apparently all you have to do is make a small cut under here, just scoring the skin enough to open it. And then you just kind of, geez, feels so wrong. What we're doing here is literally taking the legs and breaking them off the joints so your knife can cut through them nicely. I think. I don't really know. You're supposed to hear a crack, and that's how you know it works. So once you break the legs, you're supposedly able to cut right through it. Just take your knife, find your way down the joint, and then just cut off the legs. Simple. Yeah, just cut its legs off. No problem. Oh god. What have I come to? Oh, we're not done though, because the leg is made out of 2 parts. It's made out of thighs, and it's made out of leg. So you're just going to want to separate those. Apparently the strat here is to find this little line of fat and position the knife slightly on the side of the leg and just motherfucking chop. Should come off easily. And it did. Hell yeah. Alright, let's taste test these. Alright, now the last part is the breast. Having cut all of the limbs off this chicken and completely dismembered it, I kind of lost my orientation with it and couldn't tell my way up from down. So it took a minute here to reorient myself, but after manhandling this carcass for a little bit, I finally found my way. So, another gruesome one. There's a line of fat that you can kind of use as a guide and then cut into it, and then you can use the ribs of the bird as a bit of a guide. You're supposed to kind of feel your way through the ribs, having them guide you through the rest of the breast. Rest of the breast. And you just kind of do that to each side until they're kind of hanging loosely, and then once that's done, you just kind of rip the bird apart. And look at that, chicken breast. Hell yeah, not bad for butchering my first chicken, huh? I feel so mature and prepared for cutting my own bird. I've heard this is one of the most economical things you can do in your kitchen, but I'll be the judge of that. This whole thing cost me like $9 and I'm only getting a few small pieces, but a whole packet of breast costs like around the same and it gives me way more chicken. But as I like to say, alas. Cool, so just gonna put these away and store them. These should store in the freezer nicely. Oh, but before I do, I almost forgot. Gotta separate them wangs. So as we're all very familiar with, wings have 2 parts, drums and flats. I'm a drum guy myself, but I don't discriminate. So separating the 2 is just kind of easy. You just kind of find the joint in the middle and motherfucking chop. And that's it. Wangs. So just gonna do the same thing to the other one. And then once we're done, we store. Alright, so just gonna store the rest of them, except for the chicken breast. I ain't done with it yet. I'm gonna prepare myself a little something for the job well done. I'm making myself a fried chicken sandwich, baby. This isn't anything I haven't done before, so there's no learning here. You know, we could just chill. How's y'all's week going? Y'all having a good week? My week's been alright. I went to a Cold Metal bar last weekend and I met this guy who kept saying crazy things like, oh yeah, I love Torture. I saw them last year, but I'm super stoked for Dying Fetus coming up. Of course, for those of you who don't know, those are metal bands. He was a super cool guy though. He invited me to a bunch of shows coming up because, not gonna lie, I love that shit. I've been a huge metal fan since I was in middle school. It was not just a phase, Mom. I'm still here. And I'm going to shows for bands called Torture. Make sure to like and subscribe if you are a fellow Torture enjoyer. Alright, and these are about ready to fry up. Oil is nice and hot, so you're just going to throw these on here nicely. Oh man, I'm stoked for this, Sammy. Hell yeah, baby. These are ready, Freddy. Let's remove them. Let's just set these aside to cool, and shit, you know what time it is. While these puppies cool down, it's time for my favorite sauce. Oh yeah, just like that. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now let me just cut this bread open in the most dangerous way possible, and let's build. Oh baby, let me just slather this all over. One scoop ain't enough, gotta use the whole bowl. And then spread that like the cold. Slap that motherfucking chicken on there. Close up. My god, she's beautiful. I tried cutting it here in half to show the cooked chicken, but in my dumbass fashion, I cut between the two cutlets. I swear my low IQ has plot armor. I could plan everything, but it will always prevail. Anyway, look at this magnificent beauty. Yeah, sure, it's time to taste test, but come on. It's gonna be banging. It's absolutely excellent. Not a veggie inside though. I should fix that later.
So it's been a couple of days since I butchered the chicken, and I wanted to wait a couple of days just to see exactly how much chicken I got, how much it lasted me, and if it was cheaper. Personally, I think it's barely cheaper than just buying it at the store. If you buy a whole pack of breast, you get more chicken and it's around the same price, to be honest. But you don't get the added benefit of the bones and the stock and all that stuff. So I think that's where the price really comes in. And on top of that, you get not just breast, but you get 2 thighs, 2 legs, 4 wings. What else could you want? And you get a carcass. Where else can you get a carcass? You get more variety, is what I'm trying to say. So since I had a lot of fun, and I did enjoy the chicken, I think I'm gonna keep doing it. It's not that much cheaper, but it's fun. So I think that's worth it. Oh, and also, I don't know if it's because I butchered my own chicken, or what, but I feel like the chicken tasted a little better than when I buy it pre-cut. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. So, that's it. Thank you.